Hello and welcome back to yet another session of brand building. Now, what are we going to talk about? Let us begin with a fundamental idea. Brand building does not start with design. We have come so far that we know it does not start with advertising. It does not even start with slogans or logos, right? It starts with understanding. Understanding what? The brand itself, the environment in which it operates, and the people it is meant to serve. Do you agree? So, this unit exists to build that understanding. If branding answers the question, what should we say? Then research answers the question, what is actually true? Right? So, let's dive in. What we have is firstly research and brand building. In brand building, research means systematic learning for decision making. It is not guesswork, not personal opinion, not copying what others are doing. Big no no. Research involves observing reality, collecting information deliberately, analyzing patterns, and drawing conclusions out of them that guide action. Research protects brands from false confidence that we are the best. Many brands fail not because they lacked effort, but because they believed things that were not true. For example, a brand may believe it is premium because it charges a high price. Research may reveal that customers buy it only during discounts. So, research replaces brief with evidence, right? So, what do we have here? Why this research is important before even branding? Because branding without research is like speaking without listening. Without research, brands misjudge customer expectations. They just overestimate their strengths. They underestimate the competition, that competition is there. And they waste resources on those random stuffs which are not even required. But if you do research, you have those decisions which become intentional. You have the positioning which becomes clear, and the communication which is becoming more and more relevant day by day. Research does not remove uncertainty completely, let me tell you, but it reduces avoidable mistakes which are in our hands, right? So how many types of research are out there? We have client research, competitive research, and market and consumer research. When we say client research, it is the understanding of the brand from inside. When we say competitive research, it's like understanding what alternatives are there in the market. And when we do market and consumer research, it's like understanding people and demand throughout. So, in this unit, we will focus on client research, competitive research, and how both of them combine and lead to segmentation. New terminology, right? We'll come to that. So, this sequence is important because a brand must know who it is, who else exists there, and who it should focus on, right? So, let's start with client research. Client research, if we talk about the core meaning, it is like studying the organization whose brand is being built. Client can be anything. It could be a company, a startup, product brand, a service brand, a personal brand. Client research answers questions such as, what does this brand actually do? How does it earn revenue? What are its internal strengths, those weaknesses or limitations. So it ensures that branding is realistic, not imaginary. For example, a brand may want to appear premium, again, that example, but its operations may be designed for mass scale. Without client research, branding becomes dishonest, right? So, what do we have here? There are some key elements of client research because it involves understanding several internal dimensions. So, it includes business model, which refers to how value is created, how value is delivered, and how revenue is generated. Different business models require different brand strategies, okay? We'll dig deeper later on about this. Then client research comprises of brand history. Every brand has a past, previous promises, past positioning, existing perceptions. Brands cannot erase history, but they can learn from it. They must reframe it, right? Capabilities. When we say capabilities, it includes technology, supply chain, how much we are having that internal strength, how much, to which extent we can, stretch ourselves. The supply chain, talent, distribution, those brand promises which are out there must align with capabilities. Then come constraints. Like, what are the limitations? Maybe budget, regulations, scale limitation, time pressure, the deadline. Strong branding always works within the constraint, not against them. Mhm. Then, if we talk about competitor research, it means studying other options available to the customer apart from you. Competitors are not defined by similarity in appearance, to be honest. They are defined by competition for the same need or desire. Competitor research helps brands avoid crowded positioning, identify overused messages, and discover gaps in the market. If you are ignoring competitors, it is not going to create uniqueness for you. It creates blindness, to be honest. Then we have direct and indirect competitors. When we have direct competitors, it's like imagine brands offering similar products or services to similar customers. So you are competing directly. For example, there are two smartphone brands in the same price range. So they are literally competing each other. But when you say indirect, it's like brands offering different solutions, right? Different solutions to the same underlying problem. For example, when you shop as a customer, what you look for? Maybe convenience in online shopping. Some finds convenience in online shopping, some in local delivery services, some in physical retail. So they are offering similar kind of services, but in a different manner. All compete for the same outcome, right? They are saving efforts. Indirect competitors shape customer expectations. They just enhance them just as strongly as direct ones, okay? So whenever you do competitive research, what is there to analyze? You will talk about this analyzing competitive research. When it does analyze, it analyzes product features, pricing Structure, distribution channels, communication style, visual identity, customer experience, and what is there to complain about. Let's talk about these features one by one. First up, product features. Product. We all use that. These are the specific characteristics and functionalities for which the product is famous. It can be product, goods, or services. They answer the question, these features answer the question, what does the product do? What does it offer to the user? Now, can you guess what it may include? Guesswork is not required, it is just on and on. Design elements, you always look for packaging, functional capabilities, what it can do, technical specifications, and are there any options, variants are there? For example, if you look for a smartphone, megapixel camera, you talk about the fancy structure. It's all about camera quality. Many features are there which you can enlist, like battery life, storage capacity, security features. So it matters for the branding. Why? Because product features form the functional foundation of the brand. The brand which promises, and those promises are capped. They are supported by real features, okay? Not just the making up. Then comes pricing structure. Pricing structure, it refers to how a product or service is priced. Very simple, right? But very complicated. It organized across different offerings. It must answer the question, how much does the customer pay and in what way? This can include base price, premium versions, discounts if there are any, subscription models, and bundling. For example, imagine you are using Netflix or whatever there's a streaming platform may offer. It can offer basic plan, standard plan, premium plan. Each level targets a different customer segment. And why it is important? Because price communicates quality perception, market positioning, and target audience. Remember, pricing must align with brand identity. Okay? Then we have distribution channels. Distribution channels, they are the paths through which a product or service reaches the customer. They answer the question where and how can customers buy this product? Okay? Imagine you are buying a particular stuff, maybe clothing. So, are there physical stores available? Are you using online platforms? Is it the direct sales or third party retailers involved? So, what is the distribution channel? And if I give you an example, a fashion brand, it may sell through exclusive brand stores on offline one, e-commerce websites, online, multi-brand outlets, or the mixed one, omni-channel, right? And it is very important because distribution affects brand visibility, accessibility, and perceived exclusivity or mass appeal. Okay? Then it also involves communication style, which refers to the tone, language, and manner in which a brand communicates with its audience. Very important, right? How beautiful it seems when you find a problem in the product, even after sales. You got this product and you are provided premium services. Oh, let us help you. It's not that, oh, you are done with buying, just go. So, communication is important. How does the brand speak? It can include formal or informal tone, emotional or factual language, serious or playful voice. Imagine There's a youth oriented brand. What sort of communication style it may use? Maybe casual language, more humor, just like Gen Z's, storytelling. If it is a financial brand, then it will change to the tone will change to professional tone, some more clarity and trust focused language. It is important to have consistent communication language and style because it builds recognition, it reinforces brand personality, and it builds the foremost thing, trust. Then comes visual identity. Identity. It refers to all visual elements that represent a brand. How does the brand look? We talked about it, right? Earlier as well. It includes logos, colors, typography, packaging, layout style, everything, which make it appears good. So, if I take an example of minimalist brand, they may use, they often use, in fact, clean typography, limited color palettes, and simple design. And visual identity impact us more as consumers, right? It has a great impact. So, why it matters in branding? Because it creates first impressions, it supports brand recall, and it signals positioning. Of course, you will look for the use, but the first impression is made by how it looks like, right? So, it is very important to create an impact and distinguish yourself. Then comes customer experience. It refers to the total experience a customer has while interacting with the brand across all the touch points. It answers the question, how does it feel to interact with this brand? It may include, let's say, you go to a website to buy or to just research. So, website usability is a customer experience touch point. Maybe the purchase process, how smooth it was. Then the delivery, if there's any problem, are you having those shipment terms and conditions for refund, reorder, or whatever, the exchange? Then comes customer support. Now you are done with your buying. Is there after sales support? How much they are now focusing attention on you? So, after sales service are important. So, if I give you an example, a smooth online checkout, quick response to queries, all this create a positive impact, okay, and experience. And why it matters in branding? Because customer experience shapes perception. It influences loyalty. It creates word of mouth. Branding exists not just in communication but in experience. You agree? Great. Then comes the part which we don't want to face as the people to may build brand, but it is important to acknowledge this section. Customer complaints are expression of dissatisfaction shared by customers regarding the experience with the brand. They answer certain questions. What problems are consumers facing? It may be related to product performance, maybe pricing, or it is too much, service quality, how they can help, delays, miscommunication. So, common complaints are like poor after sales service, delayed delivery, unclear pricing. Imagine you find out that there is sale or buy one get one free, and when you go to counter, it was like, oh no, this offer has been expired. But why did you then put it in the first place, right? That tagging that it is for sale or it is buy one, get one free. Customer complaints, let me tell you, are very valuable if you want to stand out. It is not something which you should hide but acknowledge because they reveal pain points. I'll come to that. What are pain points? It highlights gaps between promise and reality, and it indicates areas for improvement. Smart brands treat complaints as learning goals, learning tools, not threats. Customer complaints are particularly valuable because they reveal pain points. What are they? Let's talk about pain points. Pain point is literally a recurring problem. It is happening again and again, which causes frustration, discomfort, and dissatisfaction. And nobody wants to have them. So pain points are not minor inconveniences. They are literally problems that customers actively want to be solved. They may be functional, maybe related to the function like product is not working well. They can be emotional. So maybe the buying process or how that executive has, treated us, which causes anxiety or doubt. They can be experiential. Maybe confusion has been created or inconvenience is there. They can be financial, wherein we feel like it is overpriced or unfair pricing has been done. Strong brands address pain points better than competitors, and this is how they stand out. They just not done it, they just not do it differently, but better than competitors if they want the competitive advantage. Okay. Then comes SWOT analysis. SWOT, it is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Whenever you go for an interview, always look for all these pointers so that you can answer why should we hire you, right? But that is not the point here. Anyways, whenever we talk about something, we should know iceberg like thing. What is shown? What is that which is buried and it's not seen, but still you have to work on it. Your limitations, what are the opportunities out there? What is that which is threatening? And how we can acknowledge and resolve that. So, SWOT analysis is a structured way to evaluate your brand's position. Strengths are like internal advantages that brand controls. For example, you might be good, you have strong reputation, you have loyal customers and efficient processes, which you can like pat your shoulder about that. But there may be weaknesses where internal limitations are there, which reduce effectiveness. You need to resolve them. For example, limited reach is there, inconsistent quality is there. Maybe you are doing well as online thing, but not what to say. You don't have digital presence. So you need to work on that. Opportunities. These are like external conditions that can be exploited. For examples, changing consumer behavior, new technology, and emerging markets. Okay? Threats. These are risk, external risks beyond direct control. Maybe new entrants are coming, they are providing better pricing thing, better quality than you. Maybe there is a change in regulation, political, technical, legal aspects are changing every now and then. Economic slowdown, it is not in your hand, of course, right? So, how you will work around that? Okay, that is important. Then comes how it is useful. It actually is very useful because it leads to strategic choices. Okay. Insights emerge when SWOT elements are connected. For example, if a brand strength is trust, And the opportunities, rising demand for reliability, and the brand can position itself around dependability. So these are like playing around our strengths and aligning the opportunities and position. Insight transforms analysis into action. So you have to work around it very carefully, okay? Then comes segmentation. Very, very important. I think the most important factor. It means dividing a broad market into smaller groups by research with shared characteristics, okay? It exists because customers are diverse, of course. Needs are different, they vary from consumer to consumer. Motivation varies. So, segmentation helps brands focus on resources, communicate clearly, and build relevance. All right. A brand cannot be meaningful to everyone, but you can make it meaningful to those people who you want to target. So, what are the types of segmentation out there? We have demographic, which is like the segmentation wherein the process is there for dividing the market based on measurable population characteristics. Population. It answers the question, who is the customer? So, common demographic variables are age, gender, income, education level, occupation, family size, marital status. If I give you an example, a brand, if we only talk about the demographic value, it may target young professionals like age between 25 to 35, maybe middle income families or high income individuals. Think of a luxury brand. It often target high income groups. And if it is an affordable consumer brand, then it targets middle or low income groups, right? Demographic segmentation, I would say, is important because it is easy to measure and collect. It helps estimate what's the market size and it guides pricing and distribution decision. But with advantages, there comes limitation as well. People with the same demographics may still have very different motivations, which you need to find out, even after categorizing them into the same category. Okay. Then comes geographic segmentation. Geographic, as the name suggests, it divides the market based on location or physical geography. So the question will become, it will answer the question like, where is the customer located? And the variables are country, region, city or town, then categorize it urban or rural, climate, population density, and everything. Okay. So if I give you an example, we have those countries where most of the times it is winters. So winter clothing brands focus more on colder regions. Food brands, they adapt taste based on the regional preferences, right? So it matters. It helps adapt products and communication to local needs and it affects the whole distribution and logistics. It influencing it influences pricing and availability. You know price purchase parity, right? There's purchasing power. You have to set the prices according to the region, right? But limitation is like location alone does not explain why customers buy. Then comes psychographic segmentation. Psychographic means dividing the market based on psychological and lifestyle factors, okay? So it answers the questions like what does the customer buy? And common psychographic variables are like lifestyle, values, attitudes. These three are very important. I'll dig deeper when I'll explain you all these. Interest, beliefs, and personality traits. Let's say there are two people of the same age and income. One values sustainability, so it always look for ecological, products. The other values convenience. So they'll respond to different brand messages, right? The choices are different. So psychographic segmentation reveals customer motivation. Where is it inclined? Where is that customer inclined to? Helps create emotional connection, supports meaningful brand positioning. And the limitation are it can be anything like psychographic data is harder to measure than demographics. Do you agree? We also have behavioral segmentation. Behavioral segmentation, which divides the market based on actual customer behavior, behavior toward a product or brand. It's like answering the question, how does the customer interact with the brand? Like you are on the website and analytics show how much time you have spent on an average on that website. What's the bounce rate? How many people are coming and then just immediately going out? So, usage rate, light, medium, or heavy. Purchase frequency. So, they capture your mobile number while purchasing anything. They ask for email ID for subscription letters, right? So it's like to have that data, that is it the customer who is buying very frequently from us. And in that sense, we can offer something which is there for loyal customers. These are our, regular customers. Then consumer behavior involves brand loyalty, occasion of the use, and benefits sought. Maybe you can take an example. Brand may target frequent users with loyalty programs, rewards, referrals, occasional users with reminders or promotions. And it is very important because this is the game changer. It is based on real actions, not assumptions, and it helps optimize customer experience. Customer feels like, this is our own brand and they feel attached to it. So it improves retention and lifetime value. However, behavior can change due to external factors. Okay? And this is to remember. Then comes walls. Walls like values and lifestyles. Walls stand for values and lifestyles. It is, again, if you dig deeper, the psychographic segmentation, we classify consumer based on the psychology. Values, wherein we talk about what motivates them internally. And lifestyles, where we talk about how they live, think, spend, and behave. So it answers the question like, why do people behave the way they do as consumers? In understanding that behavior. So it is not like demographic segmentation, which involves age or income. In fact, WALS focuses on mindset and motivation. It is important because it helps brand to understand consumer motivation, design emotionally relevant positioning, craft appropriate communication tone, predict purchasing behavior of the consumer, and build long-term brand relationships. Okay? You can see that two consumers, very similar age, they are from very similar age group, income group, but their wall style, they can be completely different, and you will be mesmerized to know, which leads to different brand choices. So don't you think if something is affecting brand choices, then brand must know that? So there is a core logic of Wall's framework. We look for two dimensions: primary motivation and resources. Primary motivation, it's like why they buy. What is that which is making them buying it? It's like ideas, achievement, and self expression. And second dimension is resources. How much ability they are having to act. Maybe, of course, we all aspire for good, but do we have income? And how educated they are, because then they are more aware. Their confidence, energy, access to information, all these are under the category of resources. Okay. So how many types of consumer walls consumer are there? These can be innovators. Innovators are like, so we talk about two things, resources and motivation, right? So innovators are high in resources. They're intelligent, they're sophisticated, confident, and open to change. So what motivates them? All the three motivations: ideas, achievement, self expression. It's like, you know, how they act. They are early adopters. If new thing is coming in the market, they'll run to buy it, or they'll start collecting the information to buy it. They're willing to try new brands. It's not that, oh, it is new, we'll not try. They value quality, innovation, and exclusivity. They want uniqueness. So, what type of brand they'll prefer? Premium technology, luxury lifestyle brands, cutting edge products. Okay, cutting edge products means which give competitive advantage. Something is unique in them. So this is how innovators respond to innovation, status, and leadership messaging. Then comes thinkers. They are mostly motivated by ideas. Who they are? Educated, informed, and reflected. They value knowledge and responsibility. Their motivation factor is ideal, that is truth, quality, rationality. They must be having some rationale behind buying process. So they do research before buying. They prefer durability and functionality. They think a lot. They are very loyal to trusted brands. So, how do they respond? They respond to logic, facts, transparency, and credibility. Then comes believers. They are like traditional and conservatives. They have strong moral and cultural beliefs, let me tell you. They are also motivated by idols, but they are less open to change than thinkers. They prefer familiar brands, they are resistant to trends, and they value trust and tradition. You know how they respond? They respond to heritage, family values, and reliability. Then comes achievers. Achievers, they are achievement motivated. They are career oriented, goal focused, and disciplined. Achievement and success motivate them. So imagine the consumer behavior which is involved in it. It's like they prefer premium but practical brands. They seek products that signal success. Okay. And achievers respond to status, efficiency, and success oriented messaging. Then comes next category of walls, which is strivers. Strivers. They are like aspirational but limited in resources. They are image conscious, very much image conscious. So they whatever they buy it for achievement and recognition. So they look for trends. They are very brand conscious and price sensitive as well. It's like they respond to aspirational imagery, style, and affordability. Okay. Then comes experiencers. Who they are: young, energetic, impulsive. They seek excitement and variety. For them, motivation is like self expression and enjoyment. Their behavior includes spending a lot of time on fashion, entertainment, and experiences. they are less brand loyal. It's like if fashion changes and this brand is not offering you what you're looking for, they just randomly switch. They switch. So they respond to fun, emotion, novelty. Novelty means newness and lifestyle branding. Okay. Then comes makers. They are like practical, hands on, and self sufficient. They value functionality over luxury. What motivates them basically? The self expression. Self expression through action and creation. Imagine the behavior like the person who is preferring durability, functional products, which is the person who is less influenced by advertising. So makers respond to practical benefits, durability, and usefulness. All right. Then comes eighth category, which is for survivors. Survivors, the name suggests that they must be low. They must be lowest resource person. They focus on basic needs and security. They are there. The motivation is simply survival and safety. So they are extremely price sensitive. They are brand loyal out of necessity, not preference. So if you are a brand which is offering less price, they'll stick by you. As soon as you change your price strategy, so they'll no longer be loyal for you because that's how they'll survive, right? They respond to value, affordability, and reliability. So these were the eight categories of walls, okay? Then comes targeting and strategic focus. Targeting. It is like if you are talking about segmentation, targeting must come. So it's totally associated. There's an acronym for them. This STP, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So targeting means choosing which segment to serve first. So you have segmented the thing, the target audience. Now, out of that also, which one comes in your priority list first? It is like involving. It is like in evaluating segment size. Then also analyze which is having more growth potential, how much profitability can each segment provide us, how much is it accessible, and which section has competitive intensity and the brand fit. We'll talk about brand fit. So, if we talk about segment size first, segment size, it refers to how many potential customers exist in a particular market segment. Okay. In simple terms, it answers the questions how big is this group of customers? So, how will you measure this segment size? You measure it by number of customers, total demand, and market value in monetary terms. So, why it is important? Because if a segment is too small, of course, sales potential will be limited, right? The brand may not recover its cost. So, why to go there where return on investment will not be received? And if a segment is too large, competition will be, it is usually intense, right? Differentiation becomes difficult for the larger segment. Imagine you have a premium watch brand which targets ultra high net worth individuals. So, ultra high net worth means luxury segment. That would be smaller segment size. But if you look for middle class professionals, that is larger segment size. Now you need to think which one you want to go for. And it works, both can work. But if you think that same strategy will work for both of them, no. Strategies will be differing. So you need to look for which target segment you want to uh, aim at and then strategize accordingly, okay? Then comes growth potential. It refers to how fast a segment is expected to grow in the future, how much potential it is having. It's like answering the question, will this group of customers increase, decrease, or remain stable over time? It depends on, just look for changing lifestyles, technology adoption, income growth, and social trends. Okay? Because then only you'll be able to explore what is the potential, how much is it. And it is important because brand prefer segments that will grow over time. Of course, who wants to stop if you are earning like anything and you are acquiring the market, capturing the market? And brand prefers those segments also which offer long-term sustainability. Imagine a segment interested in eco-friendly products. So, sustainability has a high growth potential these days. What about landline phones? They are now no longer required or they have low or negative growth potential. So, this way you will be able to check for future opportunities. Then comes profitability. Profitability, as the name suggests, and we all are aware, how much profit a brand can earn from serving a particular segment. It answers the question like, is this segment worth serving financially? So, profitability depends on willingness to pay, cost of serving the segment, price sensitivity, frequency of purchase, because then only you will be able to get if it the product is bought by people very frequently. That means it can be the best seller. It is in demand. So you should focus on that. A large segment, remember, is not always profitable. Imagine budget smartphones. Budget smartphone users, they are large in number, they are high price sensitive and low margin are there. But if you talk about premium smartphone users, they are smaller segment, but they have it is like higher margins associated with them and higher profitability. So brands choose segments that align with their profit goals. Then comes accessibility. Accessibility refers to how easily a brand can reach and serve a particular segment. It answers the question like, can we effectively communicate with and deliver to this segment? Accessibility depends on distribution channels, media reach, geographic concentration, and digital access. Why it matters? A segment may be attractive but unreachable. Imagine a luxury brand may find urban professionals easily accessible, but remote rural consumers they are difficult and costly to reach. So which one it would prefer? Of course, urban professionals. But if a brand cannot reach the segment efficiently, it strategically fails. So we have to look for the options which are accessible. Then comes competitive intensity. Competitive intensity is how strong and how many competitors are targeting the same segment which you are targeting. So it answers the question how crowded and aggressive is that segment. So what do you look for? This competitive intensity depends on number of competitors, strength of competitors, level of differentiation, and price wars, right? So why it matters? Because if you have high competitive intensity in the market, it means higher marketing costs, lower margins, and difficulties in standing out. Imagine it is FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. They are extremely high competitive intensity. They are having this, right? But if you talk about niche artisanal products, art, no matter how much competition is there, it is unique. So there is lower competitive intensity. So brands must assess whether they can compete effectively or not. Then comes brand fit. Brand fit. It refers to how well particular segment aligns with brand's identity, values, and capabilities. So it answers what? Is this segment right for us? So brand fit considers brand personality, brand values, existing perception, and operational capability. Now it might be sounding like confusing. I'll explain you each and every bit. Just bear with me. Why it is important to have brand fit? Because even profitable segments, they can be damaged. They can damage a brand if they do not fit. Imagine a luxury fashion brand. If it starts targeting deep discount customers, then that is a poor brand fit. Because then why that is even called as luxury brand? And if this luxury fashion brand is focusing on style conscious premium buyers, that is a strong brand fit. So, brand fit ensures consistency and credibility. Let's understand one by one what those heavy words which are used mean. So, first up, very important brand personality. Brand personality. We talk about personality of people. It is very much similar to that. It refers to the human characteristics or traits that a brand expresses consistently through its communication, behavior, and experience. Okay? So it answers the very simple question like, if this brand were a person, what kind of person it would be? And this way, customers can understand. I mean, they start relating emotionally to the brand. Oh, that brand is so nice. Oh, that brand is not good. They recognize the brand's tone and behavior. They form attachment and preference. So, what are the common brand personality traits you have observed around? Sometimes you may heard this, maybe hearing this that brands. Oh, this brand is reliable. Zara is sophisticated. H&M is friendly. What else? Nike is bold. Dove is caring, Apple is innovative, and MDH, it is a traditional brand. Are you getting it? Imagine a sportswear brand. When you hear this word sportswear, what do you think? It must be having bold, energetic, and competitive personality. Do you remember the slogan of Nike? Let's do it. So, a luxury brand, on the other hand, if I ask you, it may have a refined, confident, exclusive personality. Don't you think so? So, two brands may sell similar products, but their personalities make them feel different. And it's very important because brand personality guides communication tone, it helps maintaining consistency, it helps attracting customers with similar traits. A mismatch, and there is a lot of confusion. If there is a mismatch between personality and customer expectation, then it leads to confusion, okay? Then comes brand values. Brand values are the core beliefs and principles that guide a brand's decision and behavior, okay? If you have to answer, what does this brand stand for beyond making profit? So, brand values influence how a brand treats customers, how it handles problems, how it supports or opposes, What compromises it will or will not make? Think of brand values like honesty, sustainability, innovation, inclusivity, quality, transparency, right? A brand that values sustainability, it avoids harmful materials, it communicates responsibility, and accepts higher cost for ethical reasons. So, why brand values matter? They build long term trust, they shape brand reputation, they help customers connect emotionally. Do you agree? When actions contradict stated values, credibility is lost. So, you have to be very careful about this. Then comes existing perceptions. Existing perceptions refers to how the brand is currently viewed in the minds of customers and the market. It answers the question, what do people already think about this brand? The position in the minds of consumers. That's the perception. This perception may or may not match with what the brand intends, what the brand claims, and what the brand wants to become. So that's the gap which you have to fill. Imagine, remember this, a brand does not control perception directly. Think of this that if you talk about Tata brand, it comes with a lot of credibility, right? I don't want to influence you, but if you see a brand which is doing social causes, that if you buy this product, a certain amount will go for women empowerment, education, society upliftment, then you are more inclined towards it, right? So the perception will be like this brand is great. And on the other hand, if you hear this news that um, this brand was not offering true products, it was like copied one. And if you hear that this particular, structure or packaging is copied, imitated, those false news or those wrong narratives, they just change the perception in your mind. Because perception is formed through past experiences, word of mouth, reviews, media exposure, and social discussions. You can think of an example like a brand may believe it is premium and high quality, but customers may perceive it as inconsistent or and overpriced. This gap must be addressed through strategy, not denial that no, we are the best. Branding works by aligning intended identity with existing perception, gradually reshaping perception through consistent actions. And if you ignore existing perception, that will lead to unrealistic branding. Let me tell you. Are you getting this? Then comes operational capability. Capability that refers to the brand's ability to deliver on its promises consistently and efficiently. It answers the question like, can this brand actually do what it claims? And operational capability includes production capacity, sudden supply chain reliability, quality control, customer service, technology systems, employee skills, and many more. Take for example, a brand may promise fast delivery, but on the other hand, if logistic system is weak for them, the promise fails. So brand promises must always be aligned with operational capability. You should be able to provide what you commit. That you need to bring in your operational power, right? So what operational capability does, it protects brand credibility, it ensures customer satisfaction, it supports long-term brand equity. So strong branding without operational support, it creates disappointment. Targeting is about focus, not exclusion for its own sake. Imagine a lifestyle consumer brand entering the market. Research shows that competitors focus on price, customer complaints about durability, segment exists that values longevity. So, what do you think? Targeting this segment allows the brand to position around reliability, right? This is how research leads to strategy, and research is very important in doing so, right? Hope you got this. Now comes the most important part, which is assessment question. You need to explain client research and its role in brand building, differentiate between direct and indirect competitors. You need to define pain points with examples, okay? Then you need to conduct a SWOT analysis for any consumer brand. You need to identify a key pain points and propose solutions for them. That's analytical, right? I want to see how you come up with these answers. Why is segmentation essential for effective branding? And can a brand succeed without competitor research? Okay. So you will see that brand building is not about saying more. It is about saying the right thing to the right people. And client research, competitor research, segmentation, it provides us that right thing to be said to the right people. Client research provides clarity, competitive research provides context, and segmentation provides focus. Together, they transform branding from a lot of noise to meaning. Do you agree? Thank you so much for attending this session. We'll see each other in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye bye.